My name is Salingware, as usual, ready to take you through your English lesson. But before then, I'd kindly ask you to contact us through our short message service. Our SMS number is 40007. You can follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at ElimuTV_KE, and our Facebook page is ElimuTV. So today, our lesson or our Form 1 lesson is about compound and collective nouns. Previously, we've looked at nouns, we have looked at the categories of nouns. So today we're going to specify, or we're going to narrow down on compound and collective nouns. Before then, maybe we can start by looking at our lesson objectives. And by the end of this lesson, learner, you should be able to define nouns. You should be able to list the 5 classes of nouns. You should be able to define and give examples of collective nouns. You should be able to define and give examples of compound nouns. And you should be able to fill in blanks with appropriate compound nouns or the appropriate collective nouns. To take us back, let's first maybe have a recap of what we talked about nouns. Earlier, we defined nouns as naming words. We said that they name people, places, objects, and feelings. Among the 5 classes of nouns, we have collective and compound nouns. And maybe just to list the 5 ones, we have common nouns, we have collective nouns, we have compound nouns, and we have abstract nouns. Let's look at compound nouns. Compound nouns are formed by combining 2 or more words to form one. Examples of compound nouns, we have the word classroom. It is a compound noun formed from the noun class and another noun room. We have a second example of the word playground. We have the noun play and ground, 2 nouns again combining to form the compound noun playground. We have traffic and police, 2 words being combined to form the compound noun traffic police. And lastly, we have cell and phone being combined to form cell phone. There are various ways of forming a compound noun. 1, we can form a compound noun by combining a noun and another noun. Here are words combined to form a compound nouns, and both of them are nouns. Let's start with example 1. We have the noun a noun. We have the third example. We have the noun wind being combined with the noun screen to form the compound noun windscreen. Lastly, we have the noun iron combined with another noun box to form the noun iron box. What you are saying is this is one way of forming compound noun where we combine 2 nouns to come up with one compound noun. Having looked at that, let's look at examples in sentences. Examples of compound nouns in sentences. We have number 1, a herd of goats browsed along the riverbank. The compound noun is riverbank. Example number 2, we have the angry mob broke the car's windscreen. Windscreen, a compound noun. 3, we have one must always turn off and unplug the iron box to avoid fire accidents. We have iron box. Next, we have many were seen siphoning petrol from the leaking petrol tank. We have the compound noun petrol tank. Having looked at that, let's continue and look at the other way that we can form compound nouns. And the other way is combining a noun and a gerund in its ing form or in its continuous form. A gerund you have been told that, or from your books, you know that a gerund is a verb that functions as a noun. A gerund is a verb that functions as a noun. It's a verb, yes, but in a sentence, a verb can assume the role of a noun, or a verb functions as a noun. Let's look at these examples. We have number 1. We know that panting is a verb. Yeah, breathing may be fast, and in this sentence, in sentence 1, this word that is maybe coming, it has been formed from a verb in its continuous form, is functioning as a noun. Let's look at it. The doctor suspected that his panting was caused by the intense exercise. The doctor suspected that his panting was caused by intense exercise. Panting is a gerund. It's functioning as a noun. Sentence number 2. Her screaming attracted a huge multitude. Screaming is a continuous form of the verb scream, but in this case, it is functioning as a verb, making it a gerund. In noun and gerund compound form, compound nouns, a noun is combined with a gerund in its continuous tense to form a compound noun. That should be an NB and not number 3. Let's look at examples of gerunds. Example number 1. We have a noun and a gerund being combined to form the compound noun. We have fruit, a noun, picking, a gerund, being combined to form the compound noun fruit picking. Number 2, we have walking, stick, of course formed from the gerund walking, and stick, which is a noun. Next, we have carjacking, a noun again combined with the gerund to form the compound noun carjacking. Next, we have weight lifting. Weight, a noun, lifting, a gerund, a compound noun, weight lifting. Lastly, we have dairy and farming combined to form the compound noun dairy farming. Let's look at that in examples. The old man hit the cat with his metallic walking stick. Walking stick, a compound noun. My sister enjoys fruit picking. Fruit picking, a compound noun. Most Kenyans prefer dairy farming to horticulture. Dairy farming, compound noun. Weightlifting is one way of exercising. Weightlifting, another compound noun. Having looked at compound noun, let's look at collective nouns. And we are saying that collective nouns refer to a collection of persons or items treated as a singular entity or spoken of as one. They exist in numbers, but when we talk about them, we treat them as one entity. When we talk about a group of people, maybe a group of judges, that becomes a jury. These are many people but being referred to or being treated as one. Let's look at examples. Example number 1, we have a flock of sheep. We have a herd of elephants, a team of players, a bunch of keys, a convoy of vehicles, a bouquet of roses, and a string of beads. These are entities treated as one, but in each group there could be 2, 3, 4 or more members. Let's talk about a flock of sheep. This could be having 6 sheep, 9 sheep, 12 sheep, but it is being treated as a group or one entity. When we talk about a convoy of vehicles. They could be 3 vehicles, they could be 6 vehicles, they could be 10. But we don't talk about a convoy of, we don't talk about them as if they are many, but we treat it as if it's one. Now, when we talk about collective nouns, we say that collective nouns can be either assigned singular or plural verbs. What am I saying? That they can take a singular verb or they can take a plural verb depending on how we treat that particular entity. We are saying that if a certain collective noun is seen as a unit and not a group of individuals, it takes a singular verb. If a certain collective noun is seen as a unit and not a group of individuals, it takes a singular verb. Let's look at example number 1. The committee was meeting today. So we are treating the committee as one entity, therefore supplying a singular verb was. Number 2. The jury declared the driver guilty. We are talking about the jury as a single entity, therefore it takes or assigning it a singular verb once again. Number 3, we have a pride of lions was seen roaming around city cabanas. A pride of lions or a group of those lions being treated as a single entity, therefore assigning it a singular verb was. Number 4, the family is concerned about her health. Family being treated as a single or as a singular entity, therefore being assigned a singular verb is. Let's move on. In the case where collective nouns take plural verbs, it is when the members of a group are treated as individuals. Example number 1, the committee were meeting today. We have assigned the same sentence that we assigned a singular verb, now we are assigning it a plural verb were. Why? Because we are not treating the committee as one, but referring maybe to the individual members of that committee. Number 2, the jury by themselves declared the driver guilty. Once again, the jury is being treated as many, or the members are being considered in this statement. That's why we are assigning it a plural verb. Number 3, we have a pack of wolves were seen roaming around the city. Again, a pack of wolves is not being treated as a singular entity, but as a plural entity, or basically we are looking at its basic members. That's why we are using the plural verb were. Number 4, we have the family are concerned about her health. Once again, we are assigning the family a plural verb are. For your assignment, fill in the blank spaces using the appropriate verbs in the brackets. Remember, we have said that if a certain collective noun is being treated as a single entity, or if it's being spoken of as if it's one, it's being assigned a singular verb. But if collective nouns, individuals are the ones that are being talked about in a certain sentence, then that collective noun is assigned a plural verb. Let's look at number 1. The jury dashed in a meeting the whole afternoon, but it came out undecided. The pronoun it should tell you that the jury here is being treated as a single entity. Because if it were being treated as a plural entity, then we shouldn't have used it, we should have used they. So in this case, we can only say the jury was in a meeting the whole afternoon. It came out undecided, meaning it's being treated as a single entity. Number 2, chicken and chips are a good takeaway fast food dish. Now, again, the article are shows us that chicken and chips is being treated as a singular entity. So once again, we are going to use a singular verb is, so that it becomes chicken and chips is a good takeaway fast food dish. So kindly try work out the 3 remaining sentences. And that marks the end of our today's lesson. I have been your teacher, Salingware. I still request you to contact us. Our SMS number is 40007. Our phone number is 0726842644. Once again, 0726842644. Our Facebook page is Elimu TV and our Twitter handle is at Elimu_KE. Till next time, keep it Elimu TV where you watch and learn. I have been your teacher, Salingware. See you next time.